Here, eat a Thin Mint.
And we're starting the Hubcast in 3, 2, 1.
Are you an inbound marketer looking for the inside scoop on what's next? Are you ready to unlock HubSpot's full potential and yours? If so, you've come to the right place. The Hubcast is your leading resource for user-friendly HubSpot tips, expert insights and strategies, exclusive interviews with inbound's brightest minds, and the latest insider news. And now, here's your host, George B. Thomas.
All right, everybody, it is George B. Thomas and Karina Duffy here today. Every day, actually, if you just go to Mastering YouTube channel and click on any of the Hubcast episodes since we started with Impact. But I digress. Man, Karina, I have to tell you, I am super excited about something. I bet you can't guess what I'm excited about.
Is it inbound?
Oh, man, that's right. We actually get to talk about Inbound 2018 for not really the first time, but it's for you guys that we're bringing it up because I got an email from Izzy, which I was like, where's Elijah? And then I figured out quickly that Elijah is just teaching Izzy how to do some inbound goodness. But Izzy sent an email. Did you guys get the email, Hubcast listeners? I hope so, because it was talking about how like this week, and then they extended it, I think, till March 15th or something like that. Anyway, if you wanted to save $800 and you were planning on going to Inbound, you will want to run over to the show notes, click the link, get your credit card out, and make it happen. I'm super excited. That means if they're starting to do discounting, that means pretty soon we're going to have like actual speaker information that we'll be able to talk about. But anyway, Go save money. $800. You can do a lot of things with $800. Like you can buy probably 723 packs of gum. You can probably park for 23 days in the airport parking lot. I don't know. There's a lot of things that you could do with $800.
I think what I love, and we're going to put this email, the wording in the email, into the show notes. Emails like this, where you're, promoting an event, you're advertising a deal, can get super salesy. And I love this email as an example of how to do email and write email copy really, really well. It's fun. It's worded really well. And it made me laugh, made me cry. No, it didn't make me cry. But
yeah, I didn't cry.
It's just really good. So check it out, even just for that, because that's really hard to do. And Izzy, you did it really well.
Yeah,
Props.
Izzy is the new, in my brain, the new inbound superstar, rock star, ninja guru. Add your most favorite word here, Hubcast listeners. You know what else is guru, rock star, ninja? Not really, but that's this week's property of the week. Karina, what do we got going on this week?
We got a good one this week. So our property of the week is opted out of all email. Now, I'm sure you guys already know what this is, and you've probably experienced it as you've sent out emails and people have unsubscribed. The HubSpot definition is opted out of email indicates that the current email address has opted out of all email from the account. This is something that's really good to know. Who is not getting your email messages? Sometimes it can be surprising. Thankfully, HubSpot makes it really easy to see if somebody is unsubscribed. It's like a big, I think there's like an exclamation point, like caution right under their name in the contact property in the contact. So if you go in there, you'll see right away if they've unsubscribed, so you can make sure to not send them emails. HubSpot really takes care of this for you. They will not send emails to somebody that has opted out, even if you have them on a list, which is really nice. But
yeah, I had a holy crap moment.
We just sent out the first Hubcast newsletter, right? And there was like 25 people that didn't get it.
Yeah.
Who had opted out.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing. Here's the story. Like, because when they initially said that they wanted Hubcast information, it was the sales lion, And then we went through this merger, and now we're doing our newsletter out of Impact. And so it's a different playground, but it's the same contacts. And so this is like, if I could, I should find like a video of like a red light going around and like warning, 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 like all Hubcast listeners, if you historically wanted, by the way, if you didn't historically want our information, you should want our information right now. I'm just throwing that out there. But if you historically asked to get our information via the email so you could keep up with all of our thoughts and things like that, you need to go to the show notes today. Like, pull the car over, stop riding, your elliptical or walking on the treadmill or hiking up that mountain, whatever you're doing right now, stop, go to the show notes. And literally, first of all, you might want to learn about your contacts and doing this in your portal and like actually allowing people to reconvert with their emails. But go and do that with the show notes through us, fill out a form, follow the thing, and then be like, yeah, I want to get like the Hubcast newsletter, and let us know for sure if you've done this so I can make sure that everything happens properly next month. And because I love you so much, that was a lot of ands, I know, but I will send you the one from this month that you're officially missing out on, where we talk about some pretty cool stuff.
Wow. That's big. I did want to mention, for those of you who this has triggered something of, man, maybe I'm sending emails to people that, they're not getting them and may want to be resubscribed. I learned something new this week, which I'm always learning new things in HubSpot. But there is a setting in the emails tool, and we're going to link it up in the show notes, that shows you exactly how to do it. But you can turn on what's called resubscription emails. So if somebody has opted out of email, but then essentially reconverts on your site and puts in their email again, it'll pop up a message for them that says, hey, you've actually opted out of emails, so we haven't been sending them to you. Click here to get an email where you can go in and edit your subscription preferences, and then they can resubscribe to whatever email types they want from there. So if you haven't done that, make sure that you go in there and do that. It's like one of those little hidden gems in HubSpot. That's a really, really nice feature. So make sure that you go in there and do it. It works in forms and in lead flows. So check out that link in the show notes and do that ASAP.
Do it ASAP, people. Look, and here's the deal. Like Karina's like, I learned something new this week. Look, people, here's the deal. I think that's why I love HubSpot so much, is because I learn something new every week for a lot of weeks. And just when you think that you know everything about HubSpot, listen, they either build a new tool, sunset something, or just move it on you, and then you get to learn it all over again. Whoa, just kidding, just kidding. I love HubSpot. And I also love the HubSpot wish list. This week, man, I'm going to tell you, this is spot on. HubSpot campaigns improvement. And what this is talking about, it was Ricardo, and I think it's Pisani, maybe? I don't know. I apologize. Pisani. Hey, you're cool, Ricardo, because this wish list item is amazing. It says, hi there, HubSpotters. First of all, the fact that he's like actually talking to people instead of the typical like, I wish that HubSpot would do this like type update is awesome. So he's bringing in the crowd. But he says, if you connect a piece of content to a HubSpot campaign, it will be unplugged from the other campaigns. It will bring with him or her. It might be a female campaign. I'm just saying. Let's just be PC here, people. It'll bring with him or her old stats and connect them to the campaign you just created. And so Ricardo says it'd be great to have the possibility to connect a piece of content to multiple campaigns, which I totally agree that'd be cool, as well as have the possibility to reset the stats for that piece of content once plugged or unplugged from old or new campaigns. The problem is now that you need to clone the landing pages and other pieces of content, and if you want to measure results for a specific set of items associated with that campaign, it becomes very weird, interesting. He says, cheers. Wonder if that means he's from UK, possibly, or somewhere over there, or Italy, maybe, Ricardo? I don't know. But if you agree with Ricardo and you wish that HubSpot campaigns would get a makeover before you get a breakover, then go to the show notes and vote it up.
Agreed. I'm with Ricardo on this one.
I totally
I
agree.
want it.
Totally agree. So, you know what else I agree with? I agree with Facebook groups.
Same, George. So what I started doing last week, and what I think I'm going to keep doing, tell me if you guys hate it when I do this, but I pulled out a post from Impact Elite from the last week just to show you guys the kind of conversations that are going on there. We don't just promote these just to promote them. There's genuine value there, and we're really excited about them. One of the ones that I really loved that people were just blowing up last week was a post from Dan Moyle in Impact Elite. It started with this: jargon. It's tough to spot when you're in the middle of it, but it's oh so easy when you're an outsider. Someone recently reached out to me to connect on LinkedIn. We've many mutual connections. I'm sure he's a fine person and the company is great. I had to scratch my head at this description, though. I share it to inspire us all to take a look at our brand/company descriptions with a fresh eye. Now, you're going to have to go to Impact Elite and get in there to see what this LinkedIn message said. But let me tell you.
That was a great tease. That was a great tease.
It was full of jargon. Like the word innovating was in there a bunch of times, and integrating, and just so many buzzwords. And there was a lot of really good comments in there. And I love that his point about he shares it to inspire us all to take a look at our brand descriptions with a fresh eye. I think it's really, really hard to not use jargon. I don't, like he said, I'm sure that he's a fine person and the company is great, but that wording and that copywriting is so tough. And I think it really made me sort of take a look back and look at some of the copy that I've been writing recently and trying to think about it in a new way and analyze it in a new way of, is this just using a bunch of marketing speak?
Yeah.
Or is this actually connecting to people?
Yeah. Is it human, or does it start to sound robotic? Are you trying to sound smart? Are you trying to sound helpful? Those are always things that I pay attention to when I'm trying to get into that. You know what else I pay attention to is Dan Moyle. Dan Moyle, if you're not following, he's a straight up inbound marketing baller. So you should follow him on the Twitters and on the Book of Faces. Sometimes the things that he does makes me go, I wish I could be like Dan Moyle. However, Karina, this week I passed the baton over to you and said, Karina, what makes you go, You know what makes me go, What made me go, was actually this morning. So there was a brand new HubSpot Connect integration that just got posted, and we have this cool little Slack integration that will send us these things. And the thing that made me go, is the question, is direct mail back? So there's a new HubSpot integration with a company called Postalytics, which does direct mail, and you can use it, use HubSpot workflows to send direct mail to your prospects, to your customers. And there's already actually a HubSpot Connect integration with a service called Enthusum, and Impact's actually worked with Enthusum in the past, and we've done some really fun campaigns with them. And so, I want to hear from you, George, on your thoughts on this, but my opinion is, direct mail's back, but I think it's back in an inboundy way, if I can use that term. So things like, and you'll see if you go to, we'll link up to Postalytics and to Enthusum, so you can check out what these guys are doing, because it really is all about hyper-personalization, human-to-human connection. So I know with Enthusum, what you can do is you can create these custom postcards that will put people's logos or their names on the postcard. A lot of them are really goofy. They're really fun. And then they'll have a link to a page on your website that will contain something like a video or a personalized message. So I know Enthusum does personalized videos that you can record. So it's an awesome delight move for current customers. It's a great, if you're specifically doing marketing to really specific people, it's a great way to do some hyper personalization and to connect with them on a human level.
George, what do you think about this whole direct mail thing?
Yeah, so here's the thing, and it's funny that we're talking about direct mail in the same Hubcast, that the strategy is a more human strategy. And the reason I bring that up, and no, I'm not going to tell you what the strategy is yet. You got to keep on listening because it's a little bit down the road, but we're going to get there here in a hot minute. Here's the thing. People are really turning back, and I don't know if they mean to or if it's just the cycle that we go through, like every 7 years, like things change or something like that. But people are really getting into this more human way of doing business. And what's really funny, when I kind of got into inbound marketing and content marketing, it was like, oh, go to the internet because it's like not noisy and like not everybody's trying to do magazine ads and all this and that. And now it's like the internet is kind of like the noisy place, and there's this resurgence of like do like magazine ads because they're like pennies on the dollar, or do the billboard sign because you can give them $5 for like 2 years and have like a billboard, and it's not noisy, like there isn't a bunch of people there. And so when I think of direct mail, there's a couple things I think of. One, when I get a piece of mail that isn't a bill, that is from somebody that I know or maybe even slightly know, and they've taken the time to like handwrite a letter, or it's something that's crafted that is cool and enjoyable, I'm like, wow, right? And I'm impressed. And anytime you can impress a potential lead or customer, then you're in a really good place as far as the victory or winning that trust, or at least winning that attention that will then go to trust. And so I would say, and yes, Karina, you can use the word inboundy because I give you the authority to use that moving forward. In an inboundy way, if you can do a written, letter or postcard, and it does tie back into anything that you can then measure, because it all comes back down to the analytics, the data, and then being able to make the smart decision from that analytical data that you've just pulled. But if you can send them a letter, or maybe it's one of those cool things that you see that it opens up and like the left-hand side is actually of a small video player that they can watch a customized video, and then, there's the rest of the information on the right-hand side, and again, it takes them to a landing page, a pillar page, or really, if you're doing marketing right, to any page that might have chat functionality. Maybe that's a hint on what we're going to talk about in the strategy section. I don't know, but my thoughts on this, Karina, are that it is super, super cool. And I'll tell you what else is super cool is the free 15-minute assessments that we do here at Impact. Look, if you are just getting started with HubSpot and you're like, gosh, I don't know what I don't know, then you should really get one of these free 15-minute assessments. If you've been using HubSpot for years and you're like, why are we not getting what feels like 100% that we should be getting out of this tool? Then please, for all that is holy, do one of these 15-minute assessments. And hey, worst case scenario, you get on one of these 15-minute assessments, I look at you and say, you're doing awesome, and then we can talk about like HubSpot updates, just like Karina is going to talk about right now.
All right, we got a couple HubSpot updates and a new piece of functionality in beta. So the first HubSpot Connect integration that we have is ArcBright. So ArcBright says, why waste time manually pulling a list of new leads and emailing them to your sales team when ArcBright can do it for you? Set up a report in ArcBright to automatically pull info about new leads in HubSpot and send it to your sales team each morning so that your marketing team can spend more time gathering valuable leads and less time on manually creating and sending reports. Now, my initial question with this was, how is this different than creating a workflow that sends internal emails with lead information to your sales team? And looking into it a little bit further, I think that there's a little bit of additional reporting that this can do. Whether or not you would be able to do that in HubSpot, I would have to dive into that a little bit further. But if you're using Arcbright already, you're probably super happy that this has come out. So there's a link in the show notes to check that out and to learn more about this Arcbright integration, pulling leads, pulling reports for your sales team. Just another level of automation. I think it's sort of the next level of automation up from what you can already do in the HubSpot tool.
Yeah, my gut check on this, Karina, is that if you have been using Arcbright, you're excited. If you're orange and nerdy like some of us, which I'm not really orange, but you get you know what I was saying, then you're like, I already do this, people. I already do this, people. But the update is there. I don't. Do you ever wonder, like, when people name things, like, why is it Arcbright versus Bright Arc? Like, what? Anyway, or call rail or rail call. I don't know. Anyway, you should probably just continue on before I derail these updates.
Yeah. If you're from Arcbright or CallRail, let us know why you chose the name you did. All right. Our next HubSpot Connect integration is for CallRail. So CallRail is a product that enables you to receive, record, and track inbound calls and text messages directly within your HubSpot CRM. CallRail logs an activity for each call or text on the contact timeline, creates target market segments, creates reports on call events, and can trigger workflows to kickstart the sales cycle, all of which provide you with better insights to your leads, help you to better serve your customers. So there's a pretty similar integration actually that we just talked about a couple weeks ago. Not totally sure how this is different. Again, if you're already using CallRail, this is great. Really good tracking of calls and text messages. So if you're looking for something to be tracking those types of things for your sales team, check out CallRail. If not, again, I think this is another one that, people that are already using the CRM super in depth probably already are doing a lot of these things. But if you're using CallRail, or if you're not doing some of those things, definitely something to look into. We want to know, are you part of the HubSpot beta program? It's because we have something in beta here. So George, do you know how people actually get into the beta program in HubSpot? If they want to be in it?
Yeah, so I do believe you can do a Google search for HubSpot beta program, and there is a page that is like HubSpot.com. Do not type this in, but it's something like /beta-program or /beta, and you can then sign up. But here's the thing, I'm going to warn you. Like there are people who being in beta is a good fit for, and there's people who it's a bad fit for. And my honest opinion is that if you are not like technically savvy, or you come to the software in a way that you are somewhat afraid that you might break things, or you get super frustrated when something is like missing or gone, then beta is not for you. But if you are, again, super nerd and you're like, yeah, I just want to rock out with the latest and greatest, the freshest and the best, then beta might be for you. If you're super calm, even when you drink 12 cups of coffee, beta might be for you. And if, again, you just want to test the boundaries of what you can do with HubSpot and HubSpot CRM, then beta might be for you. I'm super geeked out on what is in beta. Karina, why don't you explain that to them?
Yes. So I'm going to read you guys what the HubSpot team sent because it's really good and they say it probably better than I would. So this is what they said. No, this isn't a HubSpot Connect announcement, but it might as well be. Our own meetings app is integrating more deeply with the HubSpot platform to create a more cohesive user experience. So there's, I think, 3 different pieces of this that they go into. The first one is control your branding by hosting meetings links from your own domain. So you spend a lot of time getting the perfect domain name for your brand. Wouldn't you like to use it? Previously, all meetings links were hosted by HubSpot without the ability to choose to host the meeting links on your own domain. With today's update, you can. Simple as that. That's woohoo! Woohoo! Long time coming on that one. The second one is get valuable page analytics on your meetings link. So with today's update, your meetings link will function the same as any other page on your website. That means you'll have access to page views, conversion rates, and other analytics available in HubSpot. That's awesome. This will work whether the meetings link is hosted on a customer's own website or on one of HubSpot's subdomains. Yeah, George just passed out for those of you that are listening and not watching. He's on the floor. That is some good stuff. And the third one is meeting submissions now act as forms. Oh my goodness, this is juicy stuff. That's right. All of that valuable information you collect from a prospect when they fill out your meetings link will be put to better use than ever. With this update, you can now associate the user's email address with a cookie when they book a meeting. Note the cookie will be specific to the domain the page is hosted on, so get these on your main domain. Segment lists and trigger workflows based on meetings booked, and run reports based off of conversion information. Holy cow. That is a lot.
There's work to be done, people.
That is really, really good.
Yeah. The only thing I needed to do is like automatically add my Zoom link and tuck me into bed at night, and I will be good to go. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, anybody who has been on the fence about using the meetings inside of the HubSpot CRM or going to a sales pro and paying for things, if you listen to this update, you will now say, forget about it. Let's just do it. And you'll get to work. You'll get these things done.
Oh, HubSpot product development team.
We bow down before you. Somebody, please just capture this moment in time. Karina and I bowing down to the HubSpot development team. We are super excited. I'm surprised that this wasn't an inbound announcement, to be honest with you. Like this is the jam, the jelly, the peanut butter, the chocolate all in one yummy, good sandwich. Actually, I don't know if that sandwich would be good or not. That would be a little sweet. You know what else was good, though? What else was good was we got some HubSpot Academy love this week. This is the tweet of the week, by the way. And it's kind of cheating, but hey, I can do it because it is a retweet, but it is the tweet that I tweeted out. But it's because we created a video about what is HubSpot Academy and how to use it. And you as a Hubcast listener are probably like, why should I listen to that? Like, I know what HubSpot Academy is. I've been using it forever. But, listeners, did you know that they changed the entire interface? That it's completely different. It's super user-friendly. There's some things called lessons that you might not be using yet because you just think it's about certifications, which, by the way, now are called tracks. I'm just saying. Anyway, if you go to the show notes, you'll see this tweet. HubSpot Academy retweeted it. The link is in there. Hashtag always be learning. Hashtag marketing automation. Hashtag HubSpot Masterclass. What is HubSpot Academy and how do I use it? New 2018 update. Make sure.
Hashtag thumbnail game on point.
Oh, okay. We should talk about that. By the way, I have to, a side note. It's funny that you mentioned this because I've been straight up serious about the thumbnails for the Mastering HubSpot. Like it's like painstakingly pay attention to what I'm doing with those because of the new YouTube community, which we've already mentioned and asked you to come over and subscribe. And you know, there's a link, but whatever. Actually, I don't know if we've even gotten to that part, but maybe we'll get to that part. But here's the deal. I got a message about this one. If you go to the show notes for no other reason, go to see this thumbnail because somebody on LinkedIn actually was like, hashtag thug life forever on this thumbnail. And I had to laugh because, hey, you know, I'm so thuggish and ruggish. But anyway,
That's legit, man.
It is
legit sweat right there.
It is. And by the way, with this video, I think I changed my hat like 3 times in the video. I'm just letting the cat out the bag. But anyway, you know what else we should let out the bag is that, hey, we already talked about our newsletter, but let them know again why they should go reconvert, what we're going to be talking about. And by the way, I believe next month is your month to like do the thing that is the newsletter. Let them know.
I'm going to do the thing. So if you didn't subscribe to our monthly newsletter, what you missed this past week was our first one. So George was sharing all kinds of good stuff about some of the transitions that have been happening over the last couple months, what it's like to work with me, all kinds of good stuff in there. We're going to be ramping that up over the next couple of months, and we really want to hear from you, what you want to hear from us, what would be valuable for you in that newsletter. So we, as a team, are dedicated to pushing our HubSpot and inbound educations and conversations to the next level. So if you're interested in doing that, go over to the Hubcast page and sign up for that monthly newsletter today.
Absolutely. And you know what else you should do today? Because we almost went through the entire show without telling you about it. And that is HubSpot Strategy. For this week, we actually did an interview with Remington Begg, and we talked about conversational marketing. Do humans really want to talk to each other again? This is what I'm talking about, people. It is going to the human side of life. We're talking about mailing, physically mailing people and actually talking to them. It's getting wild and crazy in here. Let's go ahead and listen to that, a part of that interview right now.
And that playbook is really that thought process of thinking through the intent or the user story, and then, of course, making sure that we drive them to the right direction. It's like a workflow, but at a micro level.
Community, I want you to hear, because I've never heard that. Boy, we sure love your form process. Like, that's what you're looking for. And let's just cut to the chase. You can get Drift. It integrates with your HubSpot if you got HubSpot. If you're watching this and you don't have HubSpot, get Drift. Just play with that. And there's a multitude of combinations that you can go with here. You just really need to pay attention to conversational marketing. Conversational marketing is really something that is going to help you move your needle of revenue. It's all about revenue, and your process and saving time. Like, that's the things that I hear when Remington is talking about these playbooks and scheduling meetings and only having to talk to people once, like optimizing your time and scaling those things. Remington, I have a question for you. If there's 1 to 3 things that people should be doing with Drift or with Drift and HubSpot together, what are those 3 things? One is getting people to actually be on the other side. The worst thing that can happen, and I've seen this a few times, is where you have a little live chat button that says you're not available. If you have a live chat button on your website and you're not available 95% of the time, or it's not available to like drive someone to convert 95% of the time, remove it. It's not doing you any good. All it's showing is that you don't care. So that's number 1. Number 2 is think of ways that you can use it to improve the customer experience. So with us, we have different playbooks or different conversations that are happening on our service pages. And then, of course, we've got other areas, like we've even done inline CTAs, which typically work really well in blogs. And we've got it so that those allow people to start a conversation within our blogs. So look at those areas. And then the final one is a lot of times people go into Drift. I think their team version starts at like $360 a month, like for the paid version, where you get access to the chatbots. A lot of people look at that and they scoff because it's another marketing expense. But think about your conversion rates. And this is something I really try to drill into my clients' heads. So the difference between a 1% conversion rate and a 2% conversion rate on your website could yield double the revenue that you're currently driving through your site, right? Because you're doubling that conversion rate on the initial site. And I know for us, we've gone from a 2% conversion rate, which is already really great, and we're up at around 5% conversion rate on our site just because of the live chat features that we have that are on our website itself. So if you can 2x or even 5x your conversion rates overall, that $360 is nothing, right? Because if you keep doing everything else the same, you're really fine. And then finally, the big thing is imagine that journey, which most websites that we come in contact with convert at 0.5% to like 1.5% on average. So imagine that other 98% or more of those people that are coming to your website that aren't converting, and imagine the questions that they have. So even if you don't care about live chat and you just want content to market, think of the questions that you could get in, for marketing just by having a live chat dialogue open, answering those questions. It could be price. It could be, hey, I don't understand the difference between this product and this product. It could be a lot of different things.
that chat pane makes it so that conversion of that 98% is no longer a mystery.
All right, folks, I know you love that little tidbit. Make sure you go to the show note, hit the link so you can watch the entire interview. Super smart, great tactics that you should be paying attention to. Conversational marketing. You know, hey, I'm just going to throw it out there. The question of the week for me this week is, have you subscribed to the Mastering HubSpot YouTube channel yet? Like, go to the show notes, hit the subscribe button, because, like, that's the question.
Yeah, that's an okay question of the week, I guess.
What do you mean?
It's okay. I mean, I definitely want people to subscribe to Mastering HubSpot. There's so much good stuff on there, but it sounds a little bit promotional.
No. I think show's done. That's the question of the week.
No, I want to know. I'll play here and I'll stick with the YouTube thing, but I want to know, what are your favorite inbound and content marketing YouTube channels? So is there anything that you guys are subscribed to, that you're getting on, that you're finding on Google when you're searching for things, whether it's SEO, marketing automation, lead conversion? We want to know what you're subscribing to, and even why you subscribe to these. Is it because of the length of the videos, because of just the content, the people? We want to know. We want to deliver to you guys the best stuff we can, and we want to hear what you guys are into.
Yeah, I guess.
We want to know about you.
Yeah, I guess that's probably a better question. But here's the thing. What I will say is, when you go over there to look at your subscribed list and you're pulling it over and you're going to send us a nice email, gthomas@impactbnd, or you can send it to Karina as well, or you can tweet it out to us, whatever you want to do. You know the channels. They're in the show notes, by the way, as well. Here's the thing. While you're there, doing the research, letting us know, just go ahead and subscribe to the Mastering HubSpot channel while you're over there. I just said that. Okay, I'll leave it alone. Yo, folks, until next time, and you know I'm totally playing. If you don't want to watch, don't watch. As a matter of fact, turn the video off right now. Or continue on. It's totally up to you. Hey, until next time, make sure you go over to iTunes, leave us a rating and review. Hopefully 5 stars after this episode, maybe 2.5, because Karina's going to probably punch me in the face for being too promotional. But hey, hopefully you still love me. Make sure you do go over to the YouTube channel. Never mind. We beat that one all day long today. So make sure you go out into the world, be a happy, helpful human. And while you're doing that, do some happy HubSpotting.